A call for unity and action. Fellow Canadians, we live in a nation known for its beauty, diversity and values of fairness and justice. But beneath this image, there is a harsh reality we must confront today. The truth is that our system, once designed to represent the people, has become deeply entrenched in corruption, inefficiency, and disregard for the average Canadian. We've been led to believe that democracy works for us, that our vote is our voice. But what happens when the system is rigged in favor of the wealthy and the powerful? When political leaders prioritize the interests of corporations and lobbyists over the needs of our families, our healthcare, and our future, what happens is this: we are left behind, divided, and struggling. The truth about our system. Let's be clear about the facts. Economic inequality. The wealthiest 1% of Canadians now hold nearly 26% of our country's wealth, while the average Canadian is fighting to keep up with rising costs of living. Housing, education, and basic necessities are out of reach for many. Corporate influence. Corporations continue to pour millions into political campaigns, expecting returns in the form of favorable policies. Their profits soar while wages stagnate, and communities are left to suffer. Just ask yourself, how can the oil companies post record profits while families are paying more than ever at the pumps? Healthcare crisis. Our healthcare system, once the pride of our nation, is under siege. Emergency rooms are overflowing, mental health services are underfunded, and wait times for essential care are getting longer. Yet, those at the top continue to seek private care, leaving the rest of us to fend for ourselves. Environmental inaction. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's here, now. Wildfires, floods, and extreme weather events have become the norm. And yet, our leaders continue to cater to industries that accelerate this crisis, selling off our environment for profit. The political game. We are told, election after election, that change is coming. New faces, new promises, but nothing really changes, does it? The same games are played, the same deals are struck behind closed doors, and we are left hoping once again that this time it'll be different. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize that the political game they play is not designed for us. It's designed to keep us divided, distracted, and dependent on a system that benefits only the few. Our call to unity. But here's the good news. We have the power to change this. Canadians are resilient. We are strong. We have a long history of coming together in times of crisis. And today, we face a crisis not of our own making, but one we can solve together. This is not about left or right, liberal or conservative. This is about all of us ordinary Canadians standing up and saying enough. We demand transparency. We demand accountability. And most of all, we demand a system that works for the people, not the elites. We must unite urban and rural, young and old, Indigenous and newcomer, because together our voices are too powerful to ignore. Together we can refuse to play their game any longer. A path forward. So what can we do? How do we reclaim our country? 1. Get informed. Understand who benefits from the current system. Follow the money, question the motives, and look beyond the surface. The truth is often buried beneath layers of political spin. 2. Demand accountability. Hold our leaders to the highest standards. Corruption thrives in secrecy, but together we can demand transparency in government, corporate dealings, and public policies. 3. Support grassroots movements. Change will not come from the top. It will come from the bottom, from communities organizing, raising their voices, and refusing to be ignored. 4. Vote for change. Don't fall into the trap of choosing between the lesser of two evils. Vote for those who truly represent the values of fairness, equity, and justice. Vote for those who have a vision for a united and prosperous Canada for all. 5. Act in solidarity. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. When Indigenous land is exploited, when racial injustice prevails, when economic inequality rises, we must stand together and say, no more. Our future depends on unity. The future of Canada, our home, depends on what we do next. We have the opportunity to build a country where no one is left behind, where government works for the people, and where fairness and equality are not just ideals, but realities. But it will take all of us. It will take courage. It will take us recognizing that we are stronger together than divided. And it will take us acknowledging that change will not come if we continue to play the same political game. Today, I ask you to stand with me. To stand for Canada, a Canada that is just, a Canada that is united, and a Canada where every voice truly matters. Together, we can create the future we deserve. Last question before I forget. If the social aid is $725 per month, how can a single Canadian survive by this amount? Is it enough for rent or food or medication? Is it enough for having happiness? Is it enough for visiting psychologist? Please, do not take my words as a depressive shock. This is the reality for many cases, telling the true stories. Support by like and share, because the corruption is everywhere. Thank you.